Do you think a bear market has started? Has a bear market started? Because we're seeing a few very dangerous signs, right? Because we've got this double top here. Look at this. This is just Bitcoin alone. And this topping tail again. Where have we seen this before? We saw this topping tail here as well. And that's not the only thing. We're seeing this, on a number of altcoins, not just Bitcoin, but altcoins as well. That's looking dangerous. But let me just show you guys this. Look at the SP 500, right? SP 500 is basically the biggest one out there that decides the whole tone. And look where it is now. Now, this is, as I've been calling it, I was waiting for a pullback because I said this was a topping tail. Look at that. This was the topping tail. I called last week. I said, we're getting a dip, right? Now, I've always been positive and being bullish. I've been saying that, look, I think all we're going to do is at best bounce off here, 584, or at worst close this gap, 565-ish area, bounce off here, and then up we go for a blow off top. Now, some people would believe that a bear market has started and this was like a double top scenario. You've had one top, then two tops. Same with Bitcoin, 109K, then 112K, and down we go. I can never rule it out 100%, but right now, I'm going to show you guys not just what's happening on Bitcoin, but also what's happening on altcoins, because some altcoins are getting battered and there's a lot of fear out there. So first of all, I hope folks understand why am I talking about the SP 500, because the SP 500 is the one that sets the tone. The SP 500 is like the Bitcoin of all assets. It determines whether we have a economic recession or not around the world. And as I've been saying, I called for a blow off top around here a few months, about 7 or 8 weeks back, and I called for a pullback around here. Although I did call for one here, but this gap up, this jump was because the Chinese negotiation in Geneva with US came very well. It was a very good result. So market jumped up, and then now I think we're topping and coming back. So the reason why is because simply, I said this many times, but just for the new viewers, Bitcoin follows the stock market. Bitcoin follows stock market. It's as simple as that. This thing, SP 500, is like about 30x larger than Bitcoin, at least 25x larger than Bitcoin. So when it dumps and bottoms on April the 7th, that's when Bitcoin dumps and bottoms. And then, as I said, Bitcoin got to 112K, but it couldn't go any further. I said it's waiting for SP 500 to also break through to confirm the move, right? I said that many times, Bitcoin's waiting for SP 500 to go up and confirm the move. If it doesn't do that, then they're both coming down. So today we're going to look at some of the larger altcoins that I've spoken about before and see how they're performing right now, like Sui, Fartcoin, Virtues, Cetus, a few of those big ones. Now, so this would indicate to me, if we got to around this 565, 570 area, a smallish pullback. Where would that correlate to on the Bitcoin chart? On the Bitcoin chart, I've been saying that a pullback to 95K is likely. Originally, I thought 100K, but because everyone was bullish and also said 100K, I said, oh, no, I'm actually a little bit more worried about what's going to happen. So look at this. I just showed you on the weekly chart, guys, that we had a topping tail, and now we've broken through, and we're comfortably broken through. We're a few hours away from the Saturday close, and we're not going back into the triangle area. So I'm guessing we're gonna bounce off here, right? Retest, and then go down another leg. I'm thinking mid-90s. The reason, some people are expecting this 91.8 or 92 core area, let's call it. That's a very obvious support area, neckline. It's a little bit too obvious for me, so I'm thinking 95, mid-90s we bounce, or at worst we get down here and then bounce. To to me, I still keep on saying I don't think we're in a bear market just yet. But what about the altcoins, the major alts that we could potentially look at? Before we answer that question, first let's answer the question of which crypto exchange does Pablo He-Man use? Well, Pablo uses exchange that's non-KYC. That means you don't need to show any ID. That means even the exchange can't see who you are. Then that means, of course, Americans can use it. That means the IRS can't see you. Tax office can't see you. The FBI, CIA, nobody can see you. Total privacy. I've made this deal with them. Deposit and get a 20% bonus on your money. Deposit $100 and get $20 futures bonus. Deposit $1,000 and get $200 futures bonus, right? Just by trading, win a MacBook Pro, iPhone 16, Apple Watch, and even just by ranking the top 20, right, you get 2%. This is not top 20 for the whole exchange. This is just top 20 for the Pablo competition for folks who sign up using my link. But remember, this ends on 11th of July because it's a limited time only offer. And if you're watching on YouTube, then the link is in the description below. The link is in the description below. And for folks who are on some other websites or platforms, that's okay, such as this one. Basically, just go and click on my profile page and there's my link or Stan link or Linktree, whatever you want to call it. And it's the first deal that comes up because it's a great deal. Okay. Let's get back to the markets. And remember, folks, this is only on the Pablo He-Man link. So first, let's have a look at a coin such as Fartcoin. Fartcoin, at the time, I didn't believe that, for folks who've been watching my videos and who have been following me in my Discord, you know that I like Fartcoin because the fact that it bottomed earlier than Bitcoin. Look at this. It bottomed like on March the 10th and it didn't even react on April the 7th. As I just showed you guys, it actually went up on that day. Extremely strong, right? And then it came down here. I was like, hey, this doesn't look right. This doesn't look good. We're in for a big pullback. And then this bounce up. That was because Coinbase had announced it was going to list Fartcoin, and the market, was very positive for it. But I thought until that news came along, the way that Fartcoin behaved was very kind of strange, and I smelled weakness, so I didn't add on this bounce up. I'm glad I didn't. Not only have we come down, we've broken that low. Remember, what changed between here and here? Nothing. Bitcoin still had 103K, and the only thing that has changed between here and here is that Fartcoin is getting listed on Coinbase. Like, that news came out on this day, I think, after such positive news, and now nothing's changed in Fartcoin's down here because everyone's afraid that Bitcoin's going to crash, but Bitcoin's still at 103K. I'll tell you why Bitcoin, I don't think it's going to do one of those one-day crashes, because this thing is still so green. The futures funding rate, that means a lot of people are shorting. They're neutral on Bitcoin, but they're shorting on all the alts, right? Meaning the exchanges could lose a lot of money. But look, realistically, a lot of the trading volume is on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, even though it's just one row of data compared to everything else, the thing is that the exchanges care quite a lot about Bitcoin because it's like a huge percentage of the trading volume. So therefore, because Bitcoin is now in the black, not quite green and not quite red, so therefore the chance of like a medium-sized drop, say like 5% in one day, is quite possible. I don't think we get a 10% kind of drop in Bitcoin in one day. The one of those crazy flashes, because there's equally as many longs as there are shorts. Okay, so basically, where's the next support area? Well, I've drawn this so that I think, let me move it to logarithm, so that I think this could still be a bull flag on the way up to, a new all-time high. Now, if this was a bull flag, then basically where we're looking for it to bottom. So one support area, natural support area, will be around this 70 cents area. So we have, look at all these bottoms. right? Pivot bottoms around the 70 cents area, and also this bull flag crosses over with the 70 area support. So something like this, and we bounce. That's what I'm thinking for Fartcoin. Okay, let's have a look at Sui. Sui. Let's do virtuals first, then we do Sui and Cetus. Okay, so Fartcoin, virtues has done exactly what I said. For folks who've been watching my videos or who are in my Discord, you know what I've said is basically we're in a rising wedge, and then we break down from the rising wedge, and then retest the rising wedge, and then we go down. So this is done exactly what I said: break down, retest, get rejected, and down we go. So where are the levels of support? So first level of support is around this 130 area, but I doubt we stop there. I think like it goes down to, should go down to this 115, let's call it 110 area. We might wick through and then bounce off this this rising trend line, supporting trend line. If we lose that, then that's a big deal. If we lose that and go to say 95-ish area and then come back and bounce off, we could bounce as high as 150, 160 and then get rejected here and then go down. But that's pretty bad, because I just showed you guys break down, retest, and then go down. We really don't want to see it break down here, but for now, at least I think we'll get a big bounce out of this 112, 110 area. Now Sui is also right against support. Look at this. So Sui, for example, is right against support here. This is a log scale, and that's the support line I've drawn. Even by this second more generous trend line, we can see that we've hit there, right? Sui could bounce from here, right? Could bounce from this $2.60 area, but it's not likely if Bitcoin is going to break down and go to a dollar. If Bitcoin's going to break down, go to mid 90s, go below 100K, then I think chances are we get a breakdown here in Sui. Major support around this $2.10 area, because look at this. Okay, pivot top, pivot bottoms, and a bunch of action here. So $2.10, looking for a bounce, something like this. Maybe can reclaim this area, maybe not. This is one of the most bullish blockchains in crypto land right now. And also they've just released their new game console. I'll talk about the Sui games a little bit later. So Sui is definitely in a tight spot. Not a good situation. Now let's have a look at the number one DEX on Sui, which is called Cetus. For Cetus, the thing is, I've already called the scenario. If you guys have been watching my videos, you should know this, because I've said with Cetus, what happens is we could get a breakdown to this area, 0.08, and so far we're here because of all the shenanigans with the votes and stuff. They approved of the voting to get the hack money back. Now, here's the thing. You can see where inside this channel, inside the channel, even if you don't believe in the channel, you can still see this is a supporting trend line, and we're now right on the edge, just like for Sui. We could break it, and we could get lucky and maybe just a swing down, like a fake down, and then we go up. We go. If that happens, I doubt we get stopped at 0.083. I think we get to 0.068, right? 6.8 cents, 6.5 cents, something like this. And then if we're lucky, we get a bounce up like this. Yeah, so this is it. I guess some people might even say this could be a head and shoulders pattern. You could call that a massive head, massive shoulder, head, and then shoulder pattern here. But that's I mean, you need some sort of symmetry. This was a big shoulder, and this was tiny. It could play out. No one can be 100%, but that's it's in my mind that's a small possibility, because mainly I'm expecting Bitcoin to bounce, and when Bitcoin bounces, a lot of these small coins, altcoins are going to bounce, in my opinion. So with coins like Cetus, I mean, I think this pullback is more due to the fact that Sui and Fartcoin and all these other coins are also, doing badly rather than just Cetus itself. So like Cetus has now basically restored 90% of the liquidity on all of its affected pools. It's using like 7 mil of its own funds from its treasuries, and also 30 mil loan from the Sui Foundation. We spoke about this before, to make the stakers whole again. And also it's allocating 15% its native Cetus tokens to affected users. So like it's gaining a lot of trust among the people. It's basically people can see that Cetus is doing its best to make everyone whole again, even though, I mean, it was an unfortunate hack. So let me I'll keep everyone updated, and I still think we're going to get that blow off top, and when that does happen, Bitcoin goes through, and not all, but some of the alts should make a pretty big bounce. Okay, catch you guys for the next episode.